Hello and welcome to Sunnyside Crochet. To celebrate the return of sunlight to Northeast Ohio and the flowers, can't forget those, we will be making these beautiful curtain tiebacks. So after a long winter, I need some sunlight and I try to let in as much as possible, and so that's why we are making curtain tiebacks, and I'm going to be making a few of these to put around the house because I finally have a house to decorate and we're going to make the most of it. So I will have a link in the description for the flower appliques that I am using for this project. So you can also make these with any appliques you desire. I just keep them small so it's easier to tie your tiebacks. So my windows in my new house are not very big, so I am not making my tails too long for these tiebacks. So I'm starting with a chain of 95 in my first row, but a chain of 115 or even longer can look great used on a sliding glass door or extra tall windows. So to get started, and I've already made my flowers, like I said, I have a link in the description for how to make these, and like I said, you can use any appliques, just keep them small. Alright, so I'm going to take my flower and I'm going to work in the back of that top petal, right where I join it to the middle. And all I'm going to do is I am going to slip stitch right in that space and then just chain 95. So you can make your chain longer or you can use different appliques. I'm just doing in the back of the top petal so that when my ties are done, they hang upright. So we're going to chain 95. Alright, and I'm putting this little piece of yarn in here to mark stitch number 41. And you can use stitch markers if you'd like. I just had this little piece of yarn sitting there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to mark stitch 55 as well. This is going to be the middle of our tie back, and that is where we're going to single crochet our rows together. So it's just easier to mark this in our chain. I mean, you can go back and count it, it's not a big deal, but I just like to mark it. All right, we got 95. And then we're gonna go in the back of that top petal, just like that. And just slip stitch right through there. And then we're just gonna tie off. And there's our first row. Okay. So as I go on in this project, I reduce each row by 10 chain stitches. It's 5 on each side, just to give the flowers a little difference in length that they hang at. Okay, so we're gonna start the second row, same as the first row. Slip stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're just gonna chain 30, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and there's 35. Okay, so we're gonna come down to our first row, and I always work in the back loops of that foundation chain, and that's all I'm gonna do here. So I'm gonna take that stitch I marked, pull my marker out so it's not in the way, and we're just gonna single crochet 15, now if your drapes are thicker or you're working with a few more panels, you can go right ahead and make this wider. I'd suggest taking a chain and chaining like 15 or 20 and seeing how well it wraps around your drapes, just to get an idea of how big to make the middle part. 15 worked well for me, but I'm only tying back one panel. In fact, 15 is a little generous for that, but it works. All right, and I'm at my last marker, so we'll pull that out. And there we are. 15. All right. So we're going to chain 35 more, and then we're going to add in our next flower. And we'll take the next flower and right there in the back of that top petal, slip stitch, and then we'll tie off. Ta-da! Just like that. So now we have 2 rows on here. All right, and in the one I did for the picture tutorial, I only did 5 rows of flowers. So I started with 40, 35, then 30 chains, 25, and then 20 chains on each side with our single crochet 15 in the middle. And that just worked out really well for me. Like I said, I'm only working with 1 panel, but the 15 is a little generous. I could get 2 panels in there. And that is how I kept going with that. So here's a picture of my finished tie back. I love it, because even though I'm tying back shears in this picture, it's really nice, lets in more light, and I just love it. So I hope you enjoyed our tutorial today. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our other videos. Please follow us on Facebook and Pinterest, and be sure to check out sunnysidecrochet.com for more great ideas. Have a great day, and as always, happy hooking!